And thanks to my patrons of Tone. Normally I'm like, nobody signed up recently, but people have signed up recently. We have Stein R and we have Vic B. Thanks, Vic. Thanks, Stein. Very generous. Hey all. Welcome to Circle of Tone. From the channel that just brought you Canadian thrash underground Razor, and now I'm doing TV on the radio, I was going to say 99% of my viewers probably don't know who TV on the radio is, but I've done goth broth in the past, so I have done some indie stuff, and I have done stuff which I've kind of shoehorned into goth broth, like the Jesus and Mary chain. So actually, maybe you do know about this band, and I bet you 1% of you saw the way I was playing that and went, I get it, man. I know why you're doing that. And that reason is Dave Sitek. Now, I didn't know who he was until today, all right? I just knew that I was inspired by watching this old Letterman clip of TV on the radio do Wolf Like Me. Now, the singer, who I'll butcher his name, so I'm just going to let Wikipedia tell you what his name is.
Tunde Adebimpe.
Ticking a lot of boxes, all right? Brooklyn, not the old Brooklyn, the new, you know what I'm saying, upper middle class Brooklyn. His father was a psychiatrist, all right? He's married to a French cartoonist, all right? Ticking a lot of boxes in the old, scarf, hipster, Brooklyn rich kid, right? But he has he's got a few things in common with metal, I'm telling you, man. He's got the neck, right? Look at this clip of me trying to learn this fucking song. It's relentless, and he sings it effortlessly, and then I'm like, how the hell do you do this? And I see the size of his neck, and he's got the corpse grinder neck going on, all right? So he's got the oomph behind him, right? He's got the power. And also, if you strip away the from the album, right, it's really eclectic. It's really off-kilter beats, weird bass signatures. The guitars are kind of like shoegazy, and let me tell you what level of hipster TV on the radio is. Let me just let Wikipedia take over to tell you what genre this is.
Art rock, electropunk, experimental post-punk, revival, psychedelia, shoegaze, space rock.
Now, why am I playing this like that? All downstrokes, like, 90s punk style, right? I saw this clip on Letterman, and they are going at it, playing that hard. It's actually physically hard to do, right? It's actually physically. You can see my face when I'm playing the bass, but I'm a metal guy, so I can do that, right? Why are my hands like this all the time? Because I'm trying to think with my hands. What tickled me was when I dumbed it down and just give it just fucking white boy angst, right? The lyrics went from being some of the most thoughtful, self-reflective, ugly, beat poetry lyrics, right? And they're actually good, right? I'm taking the piss a little bit, all right? Because I think they're genuinely talented, all of them. But it went from this slam poetry level, end-of-level boss slam poetry, to sounding kind of Motley Crue-ish when I was singing it, rocking out with it. Gonna teach you tricks, gonna howl at the moon, It's pretty funny. Just context, just changing the music. If you want to get fucking music nerdy, I'm your man. If you just change the context of the music that surrounds it to something dumbed down and vanilla sausage like what I did, right? Just full on speed and power, then it becomes a Motley Crue song. Obviously not glam rock, you know what I mean? I'm just saying the lyrics start sounding a bit more sweaty teenager. So it's pretty funny. Dave Sitek, I just, like knows like. I saw him, he caught my eye. I'm like, he knows what he's doing. All right, so I say, who is he anyway? So I look him up. On the album, he played the bass, he played the guitars, he did the programming, he did the drum programming, he played keyboards. He practically wrote the song. What a talented guy. And then I'm like, holy shit, that's impressive. And then I see producer credits next to him. I'm like, what did he produce? Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. He produced that song. One of the best bittersweet, not even bittersweet, just sad, longing ballads ever written in indie rock. It's like probably maybe number one. And what's number two? Probably Love Dog by TV on the Radio. Like he was involved in that too. Love Dog. All right, I'm going to leave this in the top comment. You black metal creatures, if you have a heart, just listen to that song and even you guys will be like, onions in here or what? So I just want to say, respect to the Brooklyn hipsters. Respect songwriting, man. I'm on this kick. I'm trying to get you guitar nerds to start writing songs and choruses and all the rest of it. So how about we start getting influences from genres that are very verse intensive, thinking about the lyrics. The lyrics, I actually looked at the lyrics for Wolf Like Me, which is that song that I played. And they're brilliant lyrics. And some people trying to interpret them. It's about a man addicted to prostitutes. That's the only way you can slice it. About sex, animalistic, dirty, down, and if you don't even have to read between the lines, in my opinion. It's that obvious. But they're all trying to try and make it not quite as sexist, you know what I mean? Or not quite as exploitative. And they're trying to jump all over all these social hoops, So I get a kick out of this, man. I get a kick out of it. And goddamn, David Sitek, what a talent. And we can look at what is popular in metal right now. And we've got Sleep Token. As much as I think they are derivative of the old school, like Tesseract. I think the shark is going to jump on that style of modern metal any second. I thought it might have happened 15 years ago, but no. I mean, Tesseract were doing that 15, 20 years ago, So we're still churning in this where it's basically EDM with boy band vocals, okay? They've just taken out half of the guitars, all right? But they're still doing the Morse code. They're still doing their new single came out. My progressive and gent drinking game. I actually sometimes mentally just do it while I listen. And holy shit, just the first second of the song, it's take a shot of how unprogressive these bands are, right? Sometimes you don't know if the guitarist is asking for help because he's trapped in a progressive, futuristic nightmare. Usually the gent guys. They get enough hate without me. They're not true metal and the rest of it. Well, duh. They're, just an industry creation. They're like the monkeys of gent and prog.
Sleep Token, I strongly believe that band was, I think the record industry was like, oh my God, they couldn't believe how quickly Ghost rose to ascension. All the ingredients that make up Ghost were so original for metal. I think they were desperately looking for another band with that occult touch to it. So get some people in masks with a symbol on and hey presto, there you go.
But they have songs, they have choruses, and they have lyrics which appeal to women. Let's start bringing that shit back again. Imagine that. Because I have done Vag Dryers, which I've called modern metal. It's basically a Vag Dryer. At least Sleep Token are starting to get the women into it. Gateway drugs. We need women back in metal. We actually need normies. As an end-of-level guitar boss, all right? I am the manifestation of guitar nerd, right? So I know I've all my mistakes. This is why I am glad Sleep Token are doing well right now. And I saw one where they knocked Selena Gomez off the #1 spot. I don't believe that.
Sleep Token fans clearly gathered for worship this week because they debuted at #1, beating out Selena Gomez and her fiance Benny Blanco. So that means that Sleep Token was #1, Chapel Roan was #2 with The Giver, and then Selena and Benny were #3. This is such a huge W for heavy music, metal in general, but this isn't the only time metal came out on top of the charts. So if y'all remember back in 2019, Tool's Fear Inoculum debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, and it actually beat Taylor Swift. Even at Target around this time, they had to put up a sign that said they are unfortunately sold out of the new Tool album. Here's one that still surprises me to this day. Far Beyond Driven, the Pantera record. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 as well. And at the time, they beat out artists like
Ace of Base,
Mariah Carey, R. Kelly, Soundgarden, Celine Dion. Don't get me wrong, this is rightfully deserved. I love Pantera, and this is easily my favorite record from them. It's just wild to me knowing that this debuted at #1.
I just looked at their recent single numbers, and it was 3 million. That's not Selena Gomez Bieber numbers. I'm sure it's because it's not a actual music video. I'm sure the music video itself, if they did that to it, will be bigger. But if they are #1 on the actual #1, I'll be very surprised. I'll be very happy if they were. Why? I've come to learn normies, regular people that you find in a mall, in an airport, they are the lifeblood of the guitar underground. All right? If there's no Ace of Spades hit, you might not have had Hellhammer inventing black metal. All right? Venom inventing black metal. They just wanted to be a faster Motorhead. You might not have Pantera, the groove metal, the thrash. You might not have had any of that if Kiss didn't come along. All right? Because Dimebag Darrell was obsessed with Kiss. Normies, all right? If you have a massive pool of people being inspired to pick up the guitar, it's math. You have tens of thousands of bands practicing in basements, all right, and trying to be their idols. Now we have millions of people trying to be a YouTuber. That is their inspiration, which normies don't give a shit about that. That's a musicians thing, all right? Where, I mean, I was inspired by Chappers, Ola, all the Fluff, all the early guys, all right? And I kind of started going in that direction when I should have been in a band. And I've said it before where because of the modern guitarist, it's all about, my power supply just went on my computer, all right? 700 watt power supply. Now, how many would Lemmy have known when something goes poof and starts smelling and smoking and your computer, he wouldn't have a computer in the first place. I knew that I had to swap out my power supply. Maybe, hopefully it didn't take out my memory and CPU and motherboard and all that stuff. So is that rock and roll? It's like, no. Like I say, modern metal has more in common with EDM, and honestly, EDM is heavier. It's heavier than metal right now. Some of the gigs, some of the visuals, some of the it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and women are there, and drugs are there, and drinking's there, and the numbers are there. If you think Sleep Token are big, you didn't experience what was going on with Nirvana and Limp Bizkit and, Lollapalooza, you don't know how big it was. The MTV Awards, there isn't a guitarist in sight these days, and back then it was Durst dating Britney Spears and all that type of, they were up here, okay? And again, normies. Grunge created new metal, which is actually probably on par, maybe not. Maybe it started to dwindle a bit. But new metal was mostly, let's face it, a bit lame, all right? And then I think that watered down the experience. And then Pro Tools came into it, and then everything went wrong. Everyone snapped to a grid, fake drums, fake amps, VST amplifiers, and they're all doing VSTs of mostly the Vintage 30, the S57, nerd shit, right? So rock and metal lost its edge, lost its choruses, lost its verses, lost the spit and sawdust aspect, lost the counterculture. There's no counterculture. It's nothing but fucking guitar nerds. It's not, I did a video on the hardcore scene, which is blossoming right now, but that is just copy and paste in older scenes. So it's bigger than it's ever been, and it's worse than it's ever been, because we don't have the songs, don't have the choruses, don't have the verses, don't have the creativity. We just have the, the brutality aspect of it. And a lot of people, my peers, agree that the technicality ceiling and the brutality ceiling has already been reached decades ago. You can't get above it. You can't get below it. If you want to get dirty and down it, you can't get dirtier. If you want to get more technical, you can't get more technical. Okay? Your production can get slightly cleaner, and that's about it. And nobody likes that. No, the people that have the rock and metal gene, they don't gravitate towards that type of music, which is why Sleep Token have crossover fans. They have non-metal fans turning up to their gigs, okay? This was really, if you want to boil this down, this is really just me wanting to do a cover of TV on the Radio, Wolf Like Me, of just full-on downstrokes. That's all this is. It's not, sometimes I try and be deep about music, but sometimes you just gotta let rip, right? So, fun times. And I know this one isn't going to do good. This video isn't going to do numbers, so please subscribe and like. And any suggestions of any heavy indie stuff, the longest patrons on my channel turned me on to Failure. And what a band, man. Some of these 90s indie bands did go under my radar, and there's a lot of bangers, man. There's Undone. Holy shit. Undone by Failure. Oh, what a song. I actually want to do that one too in the future. Speaking of dumb fun, hold on, let's do this. I just saw it out of camera. I hope he's wrapped it too well. I just want to do a test. I haven't opened it yet, but I think this will do well with my channel's demographic, all right? The TV and the radio fans watching are going to be like, what the... But my boys, my Valhalla sausages, I want to see if this invokes any emotions in you, okay? You ready for this? Oh, it's not going to focus on it. You see what it is? Not. This is what you get when you have money and you're an adult. Oh, cut it a bosh. Not. This is a vintage Anthrax puppet. I can't even remember his name. What was his name? Did they name him? Was it Charlie? Yeah, so I actually think this would be worth money in 20 years' time as a bit of metal memorabilia. So yeah, I've done Anthrax in the past. I've done MOD in the past. I've done SOD in the past. Speaking of Dave Sitek, Louis Sitek just got back on stage with Billy Milano. And I think MOD are better than SOD. And I proved it with science. So yeah, give me some suggestions of some indie stuff that you think you'd like me to cover. I would like to be, for something so primitive and underrated and beloved in the goth community as Christian Death, I do want to get it right. I'm interested in what they used. So if you know what they used on that album, then let me know in the comments, or anything else, any other indie stuff, like I mentioned Failure, any other bands that you think I should check out. Because I did, at the time, I was like, no thank you. I am hardcore, I'm true metal, I am pure thrash, violent expression. I don't have time for the touchy-feelies. I have no feelings. I have no feelings. I feel too much. Especially in the comments. See you in the comments. I respond to most of them. Practically all of them. Because that's why it's called Circle of Tone. Because I want it to be like a bit of a community. Check out the description if you want to join the Patreon. And anyone over $20 a month, I'll plug your band. Like play a clip and everything. Because I want to monetize our friendship. But if you don't have any cash, just a like and a comment and a subscribe really helps. It really helps the underground, because I am still like not being pushed. Nobody does reaction videos to my little old channel, okay? Despite all the shit I told. See you next time. Circle of Town.